Hi, Sasha. It's so nice to talk to you again.
Thank you. I was just thinking that it was lovely to see your face.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Well, I feel like I see you a lot all over Instagram, but we haven't spoken in a really long time.
Yeah, I thought that because when you messaged, I was like, yeah, we haven't actually spoken. But you know, when you follow someone, you do feel like you're kind of still in contact, don't you?
Definitely. But for everyone who sort of isn't as up to date on what you're doing as I am, I would love for you to share with us what has changed with your business since we last spoke. I feel like it's a lot, and I would love for you to update us all.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot too. I'm trying to remember when we last spoke. Do you know if I was just selling? I think I was just selling cards potentially.
You were, it was just cards, it was just cards then.
That feels crazy to me now. So now we do, so yeah, we've massively upped the product mix. So it's gone from, because obviously one of the problems that I was having with just cards is the average order value so low. So we now do cards, candles, mugs, notebooks, sweatshirts. And actually I can tell you because it's okay. I'm launching a stationery in a couple of weeks as well. So like, yeah, massively. In fact, just saying it out loud, I'm a bit like, whoa. It has changed a lot. I think cards have gone from being, a whole business to I think now I looked at the product mix the other day and it's like 50%,
Wow.
which
And
is huge.
that is huge. And in a relatively short space of time as well, because we last spoke 3 years ago and it was just cards. And 3 years isn't very long, Sasha. And in fact, it might have been 2.5 because I can't remember
I feel
exactly
like
when we
maybe it was
spoke.
like 2.5. Do you know what? I'm glad you've said that because I'm always feeling as though like I'm not going fast enough and these changes aren't happening quick enough. So I actually appreciate you being like, no, that is quite a lot of new things to have in a relatively short space of time.
It is. And especially for all those new things to be like 50% of your sales as well. That's crazy, I think.
Yeah,
Crazy good, I mean.
yeah, no, it's brilliant, but it has been crazy and it's been a bit of a obviously you have more product experience, but like it is quite a steep learning curve where I found it to be. And I think I have a business mentor, and the biggest piece of feedback she gave me was that I need to put more effort into product. She was like, I think you rush it because you're so like trying to chase your tail with stuff. And ever since she kind of told me that, I've really spent time in like engineering product and making sure it works. And I actually think like I heard someone else say that the more hours you spend on product development has a direct correlation in terms of your sales afterwards.
Yeah, I can see that would make sense.
So I definitely don't spend forever on it, but I've definitely been trying to give it more time.
Well, I think it's great. And I mean, you've just told us like all these products that you have. I have my mug, by the way, look.
That's one of my favorite things I ever did.
Had to show you that because it is literally right here. I've just had a cup of
I
tea
love
from
that
it.
you use it. That makes me so happy.
Oh, I love it. Honestly, it's such a happy mug. So yeah, so you have so many new products. And I think when we spoke last time as well, you had just started wholesale with your products and you had like quite big targets. How's that going, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh no, of course, always ask. So I worked with Therese, who's small business collaborative. She helped me so much. And now I'd say we have like a good I'd say we have about 10 regular customers now. And they're ordering from us about every, say, 2 months, 6 weeks to 2 months. And that's like huge, just because sometimes when your direct to consumer sales can be low because they're so dependent on social media, whatever else. It's just like feels a bit more confidence to just keep the lights on. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's amazing because yeah, when we spoke, I think you were just about to start working with Teresa. It was so new. So that's
Yes, she
amazing.
was so helpful because I was very like, oh, I don't know about all of this. And it turns out like I wouldn't say it's like a massive, my priority now is more direct to consumer, but the fact that I've got those relationships and they take us through, it's so valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. It's just nice to know, isn't it? You've got those bigger orders to kind of you
Just
can
take
you
some of
sort
the
of
pressure
guarantee
off.
on. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so thank you so much for sharing. I can't, that is quite such a lot actually for but in such a relatively short space of time. So based on all that you've done in the last couple of years, I would love to know, and I know I asked you this before, but given that you've had so much growth in over the last few years, what would your number one piece of advice be for other product creators now?
Actually, it would be, it's not, it's a focus basically. So someone said this to me, and it's like this analogy of say you've got 5 coins a day. So say you wake up tired, but only have like 5 coins of energy. And it's just like be really intentional about where you spend them. So before I was like spreading myself quite thin. So now at the start of each week, I'm like, what are the three things that are actually gonna push the business forward? And I'm not allowed to make them everyday things. So my everyday things would be like the content, the emails, business as usual stuff. And then it's a case of being like, okay, if I only have, I didn't get much sleep last night. So if I've got 3 coins today, where do I want to spend them? And so being really intentional. And then it also makes me think like, if you've only got 3 coins, Sasha, now you have no energy to worry about what's going to happen if it doesn't work. So it's almost just being a lot more direct with my focus of like, just keep plugging away at the things and don't even give yourself the time to worry if they don't work, because almost see it as the more you get after it, the more you'll have an answer one way or the other. And then once you've got that answer, even if you don't know right now what you'll do if that doesn't work, by the time you get there, you will know.
That makes a lot of sense. I think it's just doing something, isn't it? Because actually, we can waste a lot of those coins on thinking about doing something or
Yeah.
deciding whether to do something.
Or like watching somebody else do really well and being like, I'm not going to do my thing because, or even, yeah, also just being swayed by whatever somebody else is doing. And I definitely struggle with procrastination because of like just fear. So now I'm a bit like, no, you've got so much to get done and you've only got this much to use it for. It's like the reframes just help me like not waste as much time procrastinating.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I also think it's really nice of you to be so honest about, that you sometimes don't do things out of fear, because what we see of you online, you look like so confident and you're sort
Yeah.
of moving ahead and doing all the things. So thank you for saying that, because I think, like you were saying about, sometimes you look at what other people are doing and you go, oh, I couldn't do that, or I couldn't be like them, I couldn't have that business, or I couldn't, what, we spend way too much time, or we can, comparing ourselves. So I think it's really nice when people just go, yeah, it's actually not that easy for me either. I just do it.
No, I appreciate you saying that because I think because I don't ever want anyone to follow me online and be like, oh, she can do it because she's just not scared. That's why it's okay for her. When in reality, it's like, no, I am scared, but I just force myself to just keep going. And I think somebody else, the same woman, I think it's Chloe Slade, she always says this thing about your bounce back rate. And I've just been really working on that. And it's like how quickly you'll get over something. So, like, for example, in a day, I might suddenly see someone else doing way better than me and being like, I should give up tomorrow. I'm hardly making anything compared to them, whatever. And I'll have like these spiral of thoughts. And now I'm like, okay, how quickly can I get from feeling like that to just being like, okay, that's nice. Now let's go carry on with work. So I've made that like an active thing. I've started being, I found that quite helpful as well.
That's so helpful. Thank you. Because I hadn't actually, as silly as it says, I hadn't actually thought about actually being aware of that, because I think we all experience it. But I think actually being aware of, oh, I am feeling like this and how quickly can I get over it, is actually really, that's
It
another
makes it
really good
like a
piece of
game.
advice.
I actually really like now I'm like, oh, let's see if I can get over this quicker than yes, like earlier. Like it becomes this game and it forces you to like, I guess, bounce back quicker.
Oh, I like it. Thank you. Thank you so much for all of this, all you've shared and all your updates. I think we've got, as with like your update, we've got loads in a really short space of time. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. I really enjoyed it.
Right.